All right, let's start with the first one. Says if in the equation y equals negative 10x, the constant of variation. What would you think the constant of variation is? What do you think this is? Okay, what's constant? So what would it be? So what is the constant rate in that equation? Negative 10. It's only asking you to do the slope. That's all it's asking you to do. What's the slope? Negative 10. So the correct answer is B. Yay? All right. Use the table to answer the questions. And you have the month and the water temperature in January, February, the Gulf water temperature in Gulfport. Okay? Scientists measures the water temperatures in the Gulf at Gulfport on the 15th of each month. Her data is shown in the table. What is the average rate of change between March 15 and June 15? So you need to do from March to June, right? But all you really need to do is just, if you go ahead and find the slope for those 2 points, you'll be more accurate to be. So we can go ahead and do y2 minus, what's the equation? You learned that in 7th grade. Thank you. Very good. So y2, and I believe it's in your reference sheet. Isn't it in your reference sheet, in the blue reference sheet? All right, and x2 minus x1. So I'm going to call June is going to be my y2 and my x2. This is going to be my second point, and March is going to be my first point. Okay, so what's my y? Y depends on what? What depends on what? So is it the month on the temperature or the temperature on the month? The month on the temperature? Why does the month depend on the temperature? The temperature on the month. Yeah, on December it's cooler than in July, correct? So the temperature depends on the month. All right, so this is your x and that is your y. All right, so what's my y2 minus y1? Come on, guys. Y2 minus y1. Come on. 82.4, thank you, Ernesto. All right. And then what's my month? What's my x's? 6 minus what? Stop playing and pay attention. 6 minus what? Yeah, that's the third month, and that's the 6th month. So 6 minus 3. All right, let's do it on the calculator. So 82.4 minus 66.8, and 6 minus 3. And I just go ahead and I write it as a fraction. It's just the easiest way to do it. I don't have to worry about parentheses or anything like that. All right, so what's my answer? It was C, which is not there. So it's 5.2. There it is, 5.2. All right, let's go to the next one, 33. All right, function R is graphed below. What is the range? Function f, I'm sorry. What is the range of f? So if it's asking you for the range, what is it asking for you? All right, so which two can you eliminate? A and B. Very good. So it's from here to here. What numbers would that be? Negative 3 and positive 3. Now that doesn't help because both of them have them. But you, one of them, very good. This one is empty and that one is full, right? That's a shaded circle, that's an empty circle. Open circle, closed circle. So is it C or is it D? It's D. Very good. The negative 3 is included, but the positive 3, no, it's not. All right, what is the equation in standard form? What is standard form? AX plus B. Okay, if you don't know, look at your reference sheet. B what? Okay, if you don't know, don't try to guess. It's in your reference sheet. Nobody should have given me the wrong one. Of the line that passes through the point 4 and negative 8 and has a slope of 1/4. All right, so how would you do this? Point slope, most definitely. Very good. Because your M is 1/4, your X is 4, and your Y is negative 8. That's just the easiest one to turn it into anything you want to turn it into, okay? So let's see. Y plus 8 equals 1/4 X minus 4. Okay, so distribute the 1/4. So Y plus 8 equals 1/4 X minus 1. Very good. I can have a fraction, correct? We can get rid of the 8 first. You want to get rid of the 8 first? All right, so let's do the minus 8. That way we can do it smaller, and it's a lot easier. So Y equals 1/4 X minus 9. All right, but now I have to get rid of that 4. Because they are multiplied by 4. Remember, A, B, and C are integers, so no decimals and no fractions. Whole numbers only. So I got to multiply this by 4 and that one by 4. So 4 times Y, 4Y. And then when I multiply that 4 by here, what happens? Cancels out and you get an X, right? And then what is 4 times negative 9? Negative 36. I still haven't finished. I have to do one more thing. Take away, no, not divide. Take away X, because remember the X and the Y need to be on the same side, right? This is standard form, not point, not slope intercept, okay? Or point slope. So this would be negative X plus 4Y equals negative 36. See? Yeah, somebody didn't put the negative. We did it right, right? Let's see. That will be negative 1. That will be negative 9, right? Am I doing it right? Yeah, because the X needs to be negative and I don't have any negative X's, right? Alright, so if I multiply this by negative, yay? But I don't need to multiply that by negative. Alright, so that would be positive X minus 4Y and then positive 36, which would be the top one. Alright, I'm going to say that the answer is not there. I don't think we did it wrong. Can somebody double check what we did? That is negative 9, correct? And then you multiply by 4, yes? Yeah, so this is my answer. I'm going to say that the answer is not there. Alrighty? Are we good? Alright. Number 35. Write the equation in standard form. Standard form is what? AX plus BY equals C. Of a line that passes through the point, so this is your X and that's your Y, and has a slope of negative 0.6. Point slope, very good. So Y, talk to me, minus 24 equals, let's go, well, we can change that. Let's change that to a decimal. That's a lot easier. Not decimal, I'm sorry. A fraction. It's already, no, it's not 2/3. I think it's 3/5. I'm going to go ahead and do it. Negative 0.6, and I'm going to change it to a fraction, and that will be negative 3/5. Stop talking, please. Alright, so I'm going to say negative 3/5, and then x minus 1. Alright, so let's distribute that negative 3/5. Negative 3/5 x plus, no, plus 3/5. And that times 1 is itself. Alright, I don't know if I want to add 24. I think I want to get rid of the 5 first. Because then I don't want to, well, you have a calculator. It's really not a big deal. But I still want to get rid of that 5 first. Alright, so 5 times y would be 5y. What is negative 24 times 5? Okay, do it in the calculator and stop giving me wrong answers. Thank you. 120. And then when I distribute that 5, that cancels, and you get negative 3x. And when I distribute this 5, that cancels, and you get 3. Alright, so I'm going to add 120. So you get 5y equals negative 3x plus 123. And I really can stop working. There's only one that has a 123. That would be answer C. Letter C. Well, if you add 3x, there's your add 3x, right? Alright, which table shows the same rate of change of y with respect to x as y equals 4 minus 5/8x? So what is it asking you to do? Which one has a what? The same rate of change, which would be what? The same slope. Very good. So what is the slope of that line? Negative 5/8. Not 3, not 5/8. Negative 5/8. And then what are we doing for this ones? You're gonna stat. I would definitely just go to stat and figure out. Now the stat is gonna give this to me as a fraction, as a decimal, right? So might as well just change it to what? It's already in a fraction, so we're gonna change it to a decimal point. So that would be negative 0.265. So this is the slope that I'm looking for. This one right here. Okay? Alright, and then you can go ahead and do stat on all of those. I'm going to do the first one, but I'm sure you guys know how to do this. Alright, is it A? No, this equation is y equals 4x, right? So it's not A. Is it C? Alright, I'm going to go ahead and do it. So negative 4 to 4 and 8. Stop talking, please. (6.5, 2.75, 1.5, and negative 1, and then you go ahead and do your stat. And yep, there it is, negative 6.25. Very good. So the correct answer was C. Yay? Alright, last one. For the review, and we're done with this review. I cannot believe you guys did this so fast. Alright, which means those grades better be... The snapshot grades, that's what I'm talking about. All right, the scatter plot below shows a relationship between the number of baseballs used in 14 games and the number of pitches thrown in these games. Your X is pitches thrown. Your Y is the number of baseballs. Okay, based on the scatter plot, what is the best prediction of the number of baseball that will be used if 275 pitches are thrown? So we're looking for 275 over here. Is that on the graph? Heck yeah. So line of best fit or scatter plot? Line of best fit. And remember, on the day of the star, you can use your ID to do this, right? All right, so somewhere over there. All right, so then you go up. And you're going to look for the one that's close. Ooh, it's right on the money, isn't it? Mine is. Yay? So what's the answer? 100C. See again. You got it. All right, you can put this in your notebook. The other class is going to have to watch the video. But then again, that will happen to you guys when I have them for Canada. You'll have to watch and they don't. The next cycle. So you go to your B3 next time. That's my girl. I like her. All right, are you ready? Are you ready? All right, so this is new. Since we've already finished our darn review, and I'm going to have to come up with another one, of 37 questions we've already done. Let's go ahead and start. I was supposed to start this next week, but let's go ahead and start. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and start graphing inequalities in two variables. Instead of y equals mx plus b, it's going to be y is greater than or equal to or less than or equal to or just less than or greater than. Okay? So you graph it in the same way that you graph the other ones. So you identified your slope. What's your slope for that one? All right, so -3 over what? Over 1, because when we're graphing, we need a rise and we need a run so that we can graph some points. And then you identified your y-intercept. What's your y-intercept? 4. All right. So we always start with the y-intercept. So we're going to go to the y and make a little dot on 4. Yay? All right. Now, Jimmy has been a bad boy, right? So that line needs to go down. How many times am I going down? 3. And how many times am I going over? 1. So 1, 2, 3, 1. 1, 2, 3, 1. And then 1, 2, 3, 1. Okay? And I cannot make another one over here because I cannot go up 3, right? All right. Thank you, because you need rulers. Now you need to decide what kind of line is it. There are two kinds of line. One that is solid and one that is dotted. When you make a circle for this, is this a closed or open circle? Closed, because it has that equal sign, correct? So what kind of line do you think you're going to draw? Solid or dotted? Solid. Thank you. Solid line, right? So we're going to make a solid line that goes through those points, and there's your line. Now we haven't finished yet. Now we need to find all the points that would satisfy this inequality. Now, on equations, y can only be equal to one thing. But in here, it can be greater than or equal to. All right, so you go to your y, and then you say, where are the values that are greater than? Are they up or are they down? Greater than. Up. That's your bigger values, right? Y has to be bigger than that line. So if y has to be bigger than that line, 0 is not bigger than 6, correct? No. So now you have to shade in an area. That area will not be on 0. It will be on numbers that are bigger than that line. And the numbers that are bigger than that line are over here. So if it's greater than, it's shaded up. But if it's less than, it's shaded down. Because over here is where your y's that are smaller are, right? The negatives are always smaller than the what? Negatives are always smaller than who? Than the positives. Thank you. All right? So there are two things that you need to worry about. You guys have done the lines, but you haven't done the color coding, and you haven't done the solid lines or the dotted lines. So you did the lines in 7th grade. You should have done the lines in 7th grade. Y-intercept and then rise over run to figure out your line. But now we're adding, is it a solid line, is it a dotted line, and what region do you shade? Do you shade in? Are we ready for the second one? All right. So what's your slope over here? All right, which means I have a rise of 3 and a run of 5. And then what's my slope, my y-intercept? -5. So I always start with my starting point, which is your b. So we got to go all the way to -5 and make a little dot on -5. Now, has Jimmy been a good boy or a bad boy? A good boy, which means that line is going to have to go up, right? Which means I'm going to go up 3 and to the right 5, up 3 and to the right 5, okay? So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And I'm not going to have space to do another one, right? Yay? Now that's not new, correct? Because you learned that in 7th grade. Now here comes what's new. Dotted line or solid line? Solid because it's equal to that line as well. So it's going to be a solid line. And if it's less than, do you shade up where the positive numbers are, or do you shade down where the negative numbers are? Down. Very good. Because it is less than. So, I'm going to write it over here at the top. So if it's greater than, we're going to shade what? Up on the line, right? But if it's less than, we're going to shade down. And you'll have this on a cheat sheet, right? But I'm not going to give it to you for this for next snapshot because this is not in our snapshot. Are you with me? All right, so let's go to the next one. What's my slope? So -1 over 1, right? You need to turn it into a fraction so you know your rise and you know your run. Okay, what's my y-intercept? All right, so you start with -5. Jimmy been a good boy or a bad boy? Which means it goes down, right? Yes? So 1 up, 1 over. I'm not going to do that many points, so I'm just going to keep going. 1 up, 1 over, 1 up, 1 over. 1 up, 1 over, 1 up, 1 over, 1 up, 1 over. So again, you learned that in 7th grade. So here's the new. Solid line or dotted line? Very good, because it's not equal to it, right? Okay? that's called a boundary line. Do you know what a boundary is? What's a boundary? A border, a limit. Very good. China. It's a border, yeah. There is a boundary line would be the limit, right? Will be the border. So that's why you have, it's also called a boundary line. All right, so it's greater than. So on top of that line or below that line? If it's greater than, you shade over, up, right? So everything that's up of that line on Y. Okay? Yes, babies? Ready for the next one? All right. Oh, this is easy. What is this? So hoy. Thank you. This is hoy. Which means it's a horizontal line where? On -4. Very good. So it's only going to be on -4. But before I draw my line, is it dotted or is it solid? It's dotted. Very good, because it doesn't have that equal sign. Very good. So the boundary line is dotted. All right, so it's greater than, so do you shade up or down? Up. It's greater than, you shade up. Okay? All right, next one. What's my slope? 2/1. Remember, I need to change it into a fraction so that I know my rise and my run. What's my y-intercept? I'm sorry? -5. So that's where I'm going to start. Good boy or bad boy? No. That's positive. So he's going up. Yep, he sure is. All right, so what's my rise? And my run? 1. So 2 up, 1 over, 2 up, 1 over. 2 up, 1 over, 2 up, 1 over, 2 up, 1 over. Yeah, it's a dotted line because it doesn't have that equal sign. Very good. So do you shading on top or below? If it's greater than on top. Very good. See, it's pretty easy. That's all you got to remember. All right, are we good? And the last one. All All right, what's my slope? All right, so I have a rise of 7 and a run of 4. Y-intercept? 2. So let's start on 2. Good boy or bad boy? Okay, so it's going up. But when I try to go up 7 times over here, I'm not going to have space for it, right? Which means I'm going to have to go down and then to this side so that I can connect them and go up. Okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 1, 2, 3, and 4. And I can't make any more on the top, right? Alright, so solid line or dotted line? Solid line. Alright, is greater than. So up or down? Up. Pretty easy, right? Are we good? Alright. Put that in the notebook.